Hello, welcome to your timeless reading today, Libra. Thanks for joining. While this is a timeless reading, I'm doing the reading in April, so if it's meaningful for you or you'd like to treat it like a monthly reading, go ahead and treat this like your April reading. If you've never been here before, welcome. Thank you for joining. Little lay of the land. I do a different layout, a different spread, and a different question for the different birth signs every month. At some point, I'll probably run out of spreads, but so far, so good. Last month, I did a pick a card, and it went really well. So I'm going to continue to do the pick a card this month as well. In addition to asking the question, where do we go from here? That's sort of the framework for this reading. I'll introduce the piles and then we'll jump into the reading. They will be time-stamped below. Pile 1 is going to be I think it's called Midnight Magic. It's like a mushroom tarot deck. And just the first card here is not the significator for your reading, but intended to help you select your pile. And we have the Queen of Pentacles here for the Midnight Magic, pile 1. Pile 2 is Good Fortune Tarot. I definitely did not shuffle these from my last read, so I'll give them a good shuffle. We've got the Devil here. Doesn't mean it's your card, just meant to help you pick your pile. This is pile 2. And then pile 3, we're using the Druidic Tarot, and we've got the Emperor here. All right. All right, so pile 1, Midnight Magic, pile 2, Good Fortune Tarot, and pile 3, the Druidic Tarot. I'll meet you in your reading below, and in the meantime, we'll give these decks a good shuffle. Okay, welcome back, pile 1. I don't usually do the big shuffle and the cleanse on camera, but I'm going to do it today because my piles had not been shuffled since my previous read a couple days ago. So we're just doing a little bit more cleansing here with these decks for anyone in the sign of Libra. And a good shuffle. Anyone in the sign of Libra needing a message from me today using pile 1. Where do we go from here, Libra? One card, please. Where do we go from here? Lots of cards. 10 of Wands, 3 of Cups, Knight of Cups. Well, that's a story. Okay, let's see. That's about feeling a little overburdened in a romantic relationship. We've got the 7 of Wands. I feel like we've got the same message. We're going to keep the 7 of Wands. I'll keep those other cards in my mind, though, as some of the context for this reading. So definitely a little bit of defensiveness, maybe having to stand your ground and set boundaries. Based on the previous cards that popped out, we had 3 of them. We had the 3 of Cups, we had the 10 of Wands, and we had the Knight of Cups, I believe it was. Yep. Yeah, looking like this might be setting boundaries with somebody in a romantic relationship. It could be in a close friendship, one where there is a lot of love in that relationship. You're having to set boundaries with somebody that you love, I think. Okay, so tell me a little bit more about why we're setting boundaries. One card, please. Libra, you're hanging on tight. Okay, what is this card? 8 of Pentacles. And it came in reverse. Oh boy, we may have mixed finances and relationships. There may be some bickering over a partnership at work, over some type of agreement or contract. The disagreement the boundary setting disagreement could be also around something to do with finances, shared finances, how to make a decision. You know, a lot of times I get the vibe here with this, like in a difficult time anyway. Maybe there's some sort of inheritance and there's some decision making going on with the family, and not everyone's on the same page on how to deal with the finances after a big loss. And it, you know, it's compounded by the grief. That's why those decisions are so difficult, for sure. That's not the only energy, but it's a good example of the type of energy that we're dealing with here for the Libras. Okay. What are we forgetting to kind of respect and pay attention to? This is your card. Yeah. We've got Two of Pentacles in reverse, so I do feel like maybe you're not up for the challenge of doing a lot of juggling right now, or maybe all of you involved. It may not just be one person, it may be multiple people. The juggling of this decision with the emotional burden, the emotional component, is there needs to be more recognition that there's more to the story than just the situation that you're focused on right now. So there is some type of, like, someone is really digging in their heels. It doesn't have to be you. You know, energies, you could be on either side of this equation for this energy, but someone's definitely digging in their heels pretty hard on something. And it's around something to do with a contract, an agreement, finance, money, something like that. Like I said, it could be in a business relationship, a financial partnership. It could be in a family, having to make some difficult decisions in your family, right? But it's something where there's a partnership where it's more than just, I go to work and I know you and I see you every day. There's an emotional connection between the people involved here. That's an important part of this reading, because it's also part of the Two of Pentacles here in reverse. It's part of the what you're not really recognizing or respecting that is involved. That's part of the equation here. Part of the reason the energies are so high and things are so difficult is because of the love that is here too. It's complicating things. Think about a marriage splitting apart. When, you know, two people are divorcing, you know, there's a good reason for that, but it doesn't make it easy, right? In fact, it's quite difficult. So when you add that long-term love, long-term relationship, past love, something with the finances and the contracts and all of that, it makes it ickier. I mean, that's the best way to put it, right? It just doesn't make it as lovely and wonderful. It makes it harder to deal with, because it's not just a cut and dry business transaction. There's so many more dynamics to deal with in that situation. And I think this is just kind of reminding you, hey, heads up. Maybe you are feeling more than you think you are, or maybe you're reacting differently than you think you are, and vice versa. Maybe the person you're dealing with is feeling this a little bit more deeply than you think they are. What do we need to express? What do we need to talk about? Five of Wands. I think that this digging in the heels and the boundary setting that's happening right now, no one's really talking about it. It's just humming under the surface. There's clearly tensions. Maybe you're snapping at each other. Maybe you are having little spats, little disagreements, and not getting on the same page. There could be some sort of like not speaking to each other, or moments of avoidance, just really not coming together and speaking about the conflict very openly and honestly, because it's difficult for at least someone in this equation. Doesn't have to be you, doesn't have to be them, could be both. At least one of you is having a hard time just like coming together and talking about it, like truthfully. We got a 5 of Pentacles and a 10 of Pentacles in reverse. This just came out before I started asking the next question for this particular layout. And I think this is just emphasizing that the difficulty is like someone really feels like the decision is a ruining type of decision. That's the 5 of Pentacles and 10 of Pentacles in reverse energy. So know that going into the conversation, you may be the person that feels that way, but someone in this conversation feels very strongly about it because they think that not going the way that they are choosing means ruin. That they are convinced of it. And I think that knowing that part of it, if that's not your energy, if that's someone else, if there is any love that's still in that relationship, any compassion for the other people involved, recognizing that they're coming from a place of fearing absolute financial ruin and devastation, that might help. And I feel like that's part of what needs to be talked about, like really openly. Okay, what are the options here for Libras in this situation? Thank you for so many cards. Can we get 1 or 2 cards here? Tell us about our options. Maybe you have a lot of options. We're getting a lot of cards flipping over. Options for Libra, please. See, look at this. Like, this is like a quarter of the deck. Nine of Wands. Okay. Knight of Pentacles, and we're taking this 10 of Swords. Okay, we've got some good and some bad options here. We've got one more, 3 Swords reverse. Okay, this is a hard situation. And some of these options are not good, right? Some of the options in this situation, depending on how it's handled, is that someone's going to walk away feeling really, really hurt and really, really wounded and fully betrayed. That's your 9 of Wands and your 10 of Swords here. Could be one or both of these. And just given the way these cards are, they are similar in their appearance, and betrayal leading to feeling really deeply wounded, those pretty much go hand in hand, right? So there could definitely be a deep wounding, a lot of feelings of betrayal. That's an option on this path. And I'm thinking it's probably the likely option if we don't have an honest conversation, if all parties involved aren't able to just have the difficult talk. Some people are really like avoidant and incapable of having a difficult conversation, especially in a non-confrontational way. So if you're dealing with someone who's really confrontational, it may be really scary, but you might still need to just like kind of, prepare yourself to be able to have this really hard conversation and know that they're using maybe anger, confrontation as their protection because they're really afraid, especially if they're the ones that are feeling like they're going to be devastated out of this. Other options here, we have Knight of Pentacles and 3 of Swords in reverse. Any one of these could be the outcome, but I'm pairing these together because we've got kind of like not the greatest outcome. Yeah, this is a little bit better. So I'd say one of the options here is to make a choice, someone actually taking the lead, someone who's really, really reliable and accountable and honest in this equation, really working towards some sort of agreement or solution. I'm getting confirmation that that's what's going to happen. Yeah, having some solution that's kind of an intermediate solution, but it is a slow moving progress is what I keep thinking. It's not a sentence I would normally say, but that's kind of what keeps coming. Slow moving progress, slowly progressing towards the goal. It's not as fast. It's not doing like nothing. It's somewhere in the middle where not everyone gets exactly what they want, but it's like a compromise where there's not going to be this situation where it's absolute devastation, but maybe somebody is in a financially difficult situation and they really want all this money right now, as an example. And they think, without doing this, I'm financially devastated. What's the point, right? But it could be, okay, you're not going to be financially devastated, but you're not going to be completely like winning, feeling like you're winning the lottery here either. Let's make some sort of slow progress. Let's invest this money wisely. Let's rent out the family home. Let's do this. Give ourselves time to grieve, because I feel like the Three of Swords in reverse is this option helps you all heal from the situation, heal from whatever the cause of all of this is, because I feel a lot of grief in this. And maybe the slow choice is better because emotions are so high right now. And then that allows you to almost table it while it stays secure, but come back to it at a time when emotions aren't so high. It's just kind of the energy I got. I don't know if this resonates with anyone. It feels very specific, but I also feel like it could really fit into lots of categories. I get lots of like family inheritance energy from this, but also like family business sort of decisions, or, you know, best friends who went into business together, like that type of thing. It could be divorce energy, you know, that sort of stuff, but I don't get that really so much here. Knight of Wands is where we go from here. That's good. That's good in this reading in particular. So I think there's going to be someone, it could be you or someone else in this situation, who's going to be taking charge to be kind of leading this compromise, making sure that this is staying secure, that they're honest, they're reliable, they're accountable, they're not going to cheat anyone out of anything. They're going to help handle this situation in a way where it remains secure, possibly slow growing, definitely a sense of security around it though. And that's the compromise, right? And then eventually, as the solution heals, where you eventually go is then that same person, Knight of Wands, can then take this in a new direction and turn this investment into something with more potential. But right now is not the time for it. And right now might not be the time for it because of the economy as well. That might be part of the conversation that needs to happen. Global economy is all crazy. So it may be that this person downstream can then, you know, take action to turn this into a new possible investment. There's definitely potential here, and there's an action taker in it, in the Knight. And we have the two Knights. I think it's the same person who's doing this, who's entrusted with this for the whole party, right? But y'all have to come to some sort of agreement, and coming to the agreement means you got to have the difficult conversation. Sorry to say. Okay, thank you, Libras, for joining me today. If this was your reading Or if you enjoyed it and would like to see other readings like it, please like and subscribe. And that way you won't lose me. I'll be lost in the algorithm. You'll never find me again. So thank you very much for joining today. See you next time. Hello, pile 2. Just doing a deck cleanse here and a good shuffle. I don't normally do this on camera, but I felt I needed to show you this today. Okay. All right, a deck cleanse and a good shuffle for my Libras. Okay, anyone in the sign of Libra? And in the sign of Libra needing a reading from me today. Where are we going to go from here? That's the question on my mind for this reading. So first we got to find out where you are now before we can see where you're going. Okay, answers. Oh, the Devil. The whole reason I cleansed and shuffled this deck was because the Devil came out from this deck, and I did a reading a couple days ago and it was the card from the same deck. Apparently we've got some same energy here. So the universe wants us to know what it wants us to know, and it's talking about toxic energies. Okay, tell me more about this toxic energy. Ace of Swords. Okay, this toxic energy has to do with secrets, truths not being revealed, things being hidden. I need another card here about. Okay, we've got the Three of Pentacles. I see. Everything is a group effort. No one's doing anything on their own. I mean, we can do little things in our lives, but no man is an island is the saying, right? For a reason. And something about this energy, maybe some Libras here, whether you or someone in your life, is kind of lying to themselves. Oh, wow, this is very similar energy. What sign was it? Aries? It may have been Virgo. I think it was. If you've got Virgo in your chart, maybe check out that reading. Yeah, like almost like someone's lying to themselves about a situation and not acknowledging a group for some reason. Group effort, group involvement, the benefit of being part of a group. Maybe there's possibly an interest in like maybe you've been betrayed and lied to and there's secrets and you're kind of keeping yourself shut down and removed because of this, and there's other people who know, and I get more of that energy. There's more to this. There's more people that are part of this that you should be relying on, talking to, communicating with about this. Oh, let's see what's over here. Two of Pentacles. Yeah, for sure. Definitely need to be talking about what's on your mind with other people who are with you. Wow, there's lots of Pentacle energy in these readings lately. You've got kind of choppy emotional waters. You are going back and forth on some sort of decision. This situation here, this toxic situation, whatever's hidden from you, whether there was a lie that you discovered someone had told a lie, somebody had been keeping something from you and you did not like it at all. Something's definitely been hidden from you, and either you're like picking up on it intuitively or you're recognizing it. Again, there could be an element of lying to yourself or someone lying to themselves. There's definitely other people involved here that know more of the story or can help you process this situation and understand it a little bit better, because you're all over the place here. Your emotions are about as up and down as the waves in this picture. I feel like some of you feel like you want to run away and move on from this situation as a result of this, because it just doesn't feel good. And then in other moments you feel like happy and joyful and like you want to dance, and this is your good fit, and it's like a back and forth and a back and forth and a back and forth. And it's because you're not really talking to the community that is in a similar situation around the situation, can really understand this or inform it in some way. There's other people to talk to when you're making this choice and this decision. It's not something you should keep to yourself. Knight of Cups, yeah. One of your options is you gotta kind of have to wear your heart on your sleeve a little bit and really be open and honest about your feelings in this situation, around this hidden thing, this betrayal, this secret. King of Swords. Yeah, there's two ways to go here. There's two ways for you to go. You're capable of both. You're capable of being vulnerable and talking about how this has impacted you emotionally and making that choice based on your emotions. Boy, that's this Two of Pentacles here. This is the back and forth that you're going through right now, that you're not expressing or talking through, so you're constantly going back and forth, because these are your two options, and you know it. You know that these are your two options. One's just really how you feel about the situation, and the other is ignoring how you feel and sticking with logic alone. Oof. And you're like, don't know which way to go. There's a logical component of this. There's an emotional component of this. And neither of them lead to a clear path, but I definitely feel like you want to move on. And there's a tug of war going on between your reason and your heart. I feel like it's very intertwined as well, because it's like one moment moving on feels like following your heart, like your heart needs to escape this. And then the next day, your heart, this is where your passion is, or you've done so well. There's so much that you would be leaving behind if you left. So your heart keeps you in the present or in the past. And then your logic says, if they've done this to you, they'll do it again. Move on. If this has happened, what else is going to happen? It's time to move on. But then your logic says, no, look at everything that you've done. Look at what you've built. Why would you leave that behind? Ugh, tough decision. We've got the Wheel of Fortune and the Hanged Man. Oh my gosh. Well, the universe is not helping you decide, I can tell you that. But they are saying that luck is on your side, and that where you're going to go, you're going to feel like you're in a period of limbo. This Hanged Man is supposed to be happening. I think that you're supposed to be in a position where all of the choices seem both good and bad, where it's a really, really muddled decision. And you feel stuck. Like you can't really progress, you can't really move forward. And I think the Wheel of Fortune being here is saying almost like you can't make a bad choice. That's why it's so difficult and so muddled. Whatever choice you make is the right choice. That is the long and short of it. So I don't think you have to worry about whatever choice you make because it will be the right one. And this is a general reading. It's for so many people. So for some people, the choice is saying, and for some people, the choice is going. But ultimately, what the universe is saying is you will be making the right choice. So don't worry about picking wrong, or don't worry that, oh, I'm the one person who saw the reading and then I picked the wrong choice, right? What it's saying is that's not possible. I think the reason this is coming out this way is the thing that frees you from limbo is making the choice. I do think that the advice here is in the choice, is in making the choice, is what I should say. The choice itself cannot be wrong. It's the action you're going to take to make a choice that needs to happen. And that is what brings the Wheel of Fortune. That's what turns the Wheel of Fortune in your favor, is pulling yourself out of limbo. Maybe you're breaking a pattern. Maybe you are consistently somebody who has a hard time making these decisions and lean on other people to make those decisions. I feel like I get this energy from Libra, Libra and Virgo, often, of like feeling like you really got to lean on so many other people to make these choices and decisions. And it's different than bouncing ideas off of other people or getting more information, seeing it from many different perspectives. That's okay. That's healthy. But you ultimately want to be your own decision maker. And I think that's what this reading is about, is being your own decision maker, choosing for yourself. The act of making that choice for you, regardless of the heartache or the uncertainty. That's the luck. That's where the luck is. Okay, Libra, pile 2. Thank you so much for joining the reading. I actually really love this reading, so I hope it resonated with some of you. If you appreciated it, want to see others like it, don't want to lose me in the algorithm, I would appreciate a like and subscribe. All right, until next time. Thank you. Hello, pile 3. Today I'm cleansing my cards. I'm doing a shuffle. I don't normally do this on camera, but I needed to today because I pulled out the cards and I did the pick a pile, and I realized when I was doing that I hadn't shuffled or cleansed the decks yet. I just kind of jumped right in. So I wanted you to see that I'm doing this while we're starting your read. Plus, who doesn't love the smell of sage? Okay. Pile 3. Still shuffling. Pile 3. Okay, we're going to have a lot of messages for pile 3. I can tell you that much right now. Who needs to hear a message from me today? We're talking about where will we go from here, and right now I need to know where they are now. So someone in the sign of Libra who needs a message from me. One card, please. Just one card, please. Had so many before. Just want to make sure we get the right card. Okay, there it is. 3 of Wands reverse. The 3 of Wands is a card often about taking a journey, some sort of trip, moving on. It can be physically moving, but it can also just be moving on from a situation, like an emotional moving on. So, and that is in reverse. So there's some sort of stall in movement here. Let's find out more. Oh my gosh. Eight of Swords. Okay, pile 3, you need to watch pile 2 immediately after this reading. This, I feel, already is an extended reading for pile 2. So, okay. More of the same. Feeling like you can't move on. There's some sort of truth that has recently come out, some sort of betrayal, some sort of secret, something that is keeping you stalled, right? It has to do with this information that has this truth that's come out, or a truth that you have discovered, something that was kept from you, and there is a stall. Either you don't know about it yet, and maybe this reading is your first insight into it, or you've recently learned about it. You suspect, maybe even. It could be coming your way and you don't really realize it. But it's whatever this information is, it's related to why you're stalled from moving on. Maybe someone's keeping it from you, keeping some information from you so that you don't move on. Adept of Wands. I feel like you've forgotten about the power of your potential. Like your ability to learn, adapt, grow, evolve. I'm getting you from this Adept of Wands energy. Almost like you had a lot of passion in earlier periods of your life where you really had a lot of confidence to just step out there and do new things, different things, try things without as much fear as you have now. It's like you've forgotten it, and their universe is bringing this message forward to help remind you. There's this little dog here in this card. Like some small clue, some small person, being, something small that's in your life that catches your eye, reminds you of this, and helps kind of pull you towards it, like leading the way. Okay, your fears. This is not a tower moment. This is about your fears or the fears of others around you. The fear of having a tower moment, of something going wrong, something going completely awry. Oh, frankly, that could be pile 1 as well. But yeah, this is an energy of your deep-rooted fears around this situation. I don't have a lot of information on what this situation is. It feels very vague to me. We've got the Fool in reverse. We've got an Apprentice of Stones in reverse. And an Apprentice of Cups. Boy, the similarities are crazy. I feel for some of you, this is about moving on from a job, actually. Moving on to a new position. It could be moving on from a relationship of some type, but kind of with the Wands and the Stones energy, just the information that's here, I feel like it has more to do with like what you do for work. And almost like they were keeping something from you. This feels like somebody making promises that they didn't keep, kind of stringing you along, like promising you a promotion, acting like, we can't do this without you. You're the best. You're amazing. Oh, thank you so much. But then never rewarding you for it in the end. There always being some sort of excuse. And I feel like part of the excuse is this sword energy here. Like they conveniently are able to come up with some sort of excuse for why we're not able to give bonuses this year. We're not able to do that. We can't, like that was the plan, but it didn't work out, and don't blame us. Like that's just the circumstance. And we love your loyalty, but we're going to keep taking advantage of your loyalty, right? That's this energy here. And you're either picking up on it or like somebody's really revealed to you what's happening. Something is coming your way. If you don't know this, you're gonna know it, right? And the thing that's been holding you back, there's been a bit of a fear holding you back in moving on to something new, a little bit of like worry that you just don't have it in you to start over and do something new somewhere else. Like that's this Tower card. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with feeling a little bit intimidated with moving on, especially if you're in a bit of a comfort zone. But their options here are, this Apprentice of Stones in reverse and the Fool in reverse. It's foolish not to continue to evolve and learn and grow and try new things. It is an option that is on your path, but it's a foolish option. You can choose this foolish path to stay comfortable and not grow, not learn new things, but maybe stay where you are because at least you know what you know, right? The devil you know is better than the devil you don't. That's kind of this energy. But then you have this Apprentice of Cups energy. And this is another option that's here for you. And it's really following your heart. I feel that this option is you taking a leap, having faith in yourself to try something different, to try something new, to get out of your comfort zone. Is it going to be uncomfortable? Yeah, that's why it's called getting out of your comfort zone. But at the end, I see very much like a reawakening of a core self. And that comes together with this, like you've forgotten this aspect of your younger self, your more naive, run off into the sunset version of yourself. Like that's still there. And there's something about taking this leap and taking this new path that's re-energizing for you, reminds you of, the fact that that part of you is not lost. It's still there. It's never going to go away. You're never going to lose that potential. Especially as you're aging, you're just getting better, like a fine wine, right? I think the thing that happens is we have more negative experiences, so we give ourselves more reasons for not wanting to do something because of fear of something might not go right. We're a little more risk averse as we get older. There's definitely a victory here for you. Where you go from here, I see you moving on. For people in this reading, while one of the options here is staying put and kind of remaining in what you're in, I see for most of you, you're actually going to choose to try to find a new opportunity to move on, to do the thing that you want to do that ignites that passion and that love in your very, very, very big, amazing soul. And it's going to be a victory. So this is Six of Stones. This is a lot like a Six of Pentacles, which is a give and take in a traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck. In this deck, you can see she's traveling down this path toward this ring, this wreath. It's like a wreath of victory. And this is more like a Six of Swords type of energy with a Six of Wands type of energy mixed, which is one of the reasons I love this deck. So this is definitely taking a new path here towards victory. I mean, it's very clear. There is no wishy-washiness about this. So, Libra, so very happy for you to be having a new beginning. Where do you go from here? It's somewhere new. That's where you're going. Okay, thank you so much for joining this reading today. If you liked the reading, would like to see other readings similar to this, don't lose me in the algorithm. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.